Hello and welcome to the Stock Planner channel. Doing my weekly review, and this is particularly interesting because this is the start of 2023. My review consists mostly of picking the overwhelming prevailing trend, and from there I can go ahead and use this plan to make some trades throughout the week. The Stock Planner channel is an education channel. We share our ideas. We're swing traders. Is a 2 to 30-day, 60-day time frame. In the last few weeks, I have a overall short outlook and have been very successful, and a very successful year. Let's get started, but remember to do your own due diligence. This is not to be construed as any kind of recommendation, just what I'm doing. Maybe it'll help you. Let's get started. 2 weeks ago, I posted a video on my plan for the next 2 weeks, and that was on the 19th. And I said that at that time that SPY, the Qs, and the RUT were going to go short. And I made some other predictions. And looking today, the last day of the year, 2 weeks ago, from 2 weeks ago, I had an 80% win rate. If I had an 80% win rate all the time, I could do something with that. And what I recommend any beginner is to take 10 or 12 stocks, make some predictions, and see how accurate you are. A week out, 2 weeks out, and I'm an option trader, and I like to go out about 6 weeks and see how my picks 6 weeks ago were going. Anyway, this is what it looked like 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to start with the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM. Looking at FinBiz for Friday, we see that the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all were down. Groups, energy seemed to be do well on the daily and also on the weekly. And technology, healthcare, and real estate all were down. And that's the sectors that I'm going to pick to further analyze. And you can see the week out performances were the same thing. Real estate, technology, healthcare, energy again performed on the weekly. And everything was not doing so hot on the monthly. There's the futures. The RUT is down. The NASDAQ is down. The S&P 500, the prevailing trend is down. Neutral, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the RUT. I've been playing the RUT all this week. Very successful. Bitcoin, down, consolidation the last few weeks. But I think, and I might get some argument here, I think Bitcoin has got a ways to go down. So later in the week, I'm going to look at Bitcoin for the 3 months out to be down. Forex, I play the Euro. I play the Japanese market. I play the Aussie. And I just went short and having a little bit of pain. I think it's a $60 loss at the moment because I'm going short and it went up at the end of the day. Those are the ones I play. And I have an open trade on the Aussie. Looking at the calendar ahead for January 1st, we have Monday. Most markets are closed. OPEC meeting on Tuesday. On Wednesday, some high impact items, the ISM manufacturing, PMI, job openings, and we have some FOMC meeting minutes. That's at 2 o'clock. That's going to be some impact. Thursday, ADP farm employment change. That's going to have an impact on the market. And some Friday unemployment data that everybody is looking forward to. So there is going to be some impacts to the market next week. Plus, it's the first trading week of the year, right? That's going to have something to do with it. And we ended the year with a down note. So I'm starting a new week, and I haven't updated the week because if I update it to January 2nd, well, that hasn't occurred yet, and I'll get some errors here. So I'm just going to keep that date and updated the SPY, the Q, and the RUT. And then it's consistent with the trend of 2 weeks ago. In fact, I've updated all these to what I think they're going to be. And Amazon, Google, I went long. That's not consistent with what it was 2 weeks ago, and I'm going counter trend. So I'm not. This is a good indication. By doing this, you can see which ones are not following the trend. Your picks that are not following the overall trend. And Amazon and Google are not, and neither is Brazil. Anyway, I'll cover all those in my video. Just hang in there. Going to trading view, First, looking at the weekly time frame where every one of these bars is a week's worth of data, 5 days. I want to look at the metals, gold and silver and copper, and also looking at oil. I've been trading the gold futures this week very successfully. And at the end of the day, on Friday, I took a short, which I'm having a little pain. I think I'm down $64 at the end of the day on that gold futures trade. But according to the weekly chart, gold seems to be going up. We had an MACD, zero lag crossover on the weekly. And not too far ago, we had a RSI, maybe a month ago, month and a half, an RSI crossover. So it looks like, according to the weekly, we're long. Switching to the daily, and you can see that these last 5 days, this was a lot of chop on gold, and I played it both ways. And that's one of the reasons why I went short. And when I was doing those day trades using the futures, I used a 1 hour time frame. You can see the RSI was above the 80, looking like it came back around. And I thought it was at its high of the day and would go down. It didn't. Generally long on gold. Looks like we're long on silver as well, at about right there. I'm not playing silver at the moment. Copper ETF, weekly, looks like we're long. This is the crossover on the MACD, and then we had a RSI where it went to oversold and came back around. Looks like some consolidation here, and it looks like a crossover. RSI still going up. MACD, upward trend. There's your crossover. Take it for what you will. Long bias or possibly neutral. Going to the daily time frame on copper. Looks like some consolidation there. Which way ever it goes, I don't know. I haven't played copper for the last 2 weeks, so I don't think I might not play it this next 2 weeks. And as we've seen from FinBiz, oil, that's had a good run. That trend seems to be up. Again, we're on the weekly time frame. So updating our spreadsheet with the prevailing trends, we have gold long, silver, copper, either long or neutral, and long for the oil. Now let's look at the FANG stocks. Looking at Amazon on the weekly, a few weeks back in May, looked like we're going long, and that would have been good for a couple weeks. And we could have took a short here, a crossover for this is the MACD, short. It looks like it was going down. And now we have a crossover again that looks like it might go up. And it seems like there's some support line here. So I think I'm going to go long for a week or so on Amazon. What do you think? Do you think Amazon is going long? Google is in a downtrend. And I've seen a couple of YouTubers are playing it long this week as well. Look, we have a crossover for long. That didn't materialize. It looked like we're going short. I think it's time to go long on Google as well for a week or two. Meta have been beaten down most of 2022. Will 2023 be better for Meta? The MACD says so, and so is the RSI pointing up. First couple weeks in January might prove well for techs, giving us a long as well. But one could successfully argue that the prevailing trend is down. I'm going to mark this as a neutral. I'm a buyer at 122, currently at 129. Tesla is still looking like a downtrend, and I'm going to tell you, I'll probably get some argument on this, but I think Tesla is going down to 70. There's something happening with this company, and I think the correction will continue. Short, Tesla. Microsoft, I'm going to say neutral. Netflix looks like it's an upward trend, and I'm going to change my mind to be neutral on Netflix. CRSP is on definitely a downtrend on the weekly, and I think we have a downtrend on the NVDA. And maybe you could call that neutral. And I'll update this on my spreadsheet. Looking at the China ETF, looks like the prevailing trend is definitely down for most of 2021. We have an MACD reversal and an RSI reversal, and it looks like we'd like to come up. The reading I've been doing has China reopening after COVID, relaxing some of its restrictions. Maybe it's coming out. However, the last 3 or 4 weeks, China hasn't done anything. You can call this neutral or you can call it long. I'm going to call it long. As a trader, it's important to maybe understand the prevailing trends, and I use a weekly time frame to do that, and you have to make a guess. And then you see and track and see if your guesses were correct. If your guesses are correct and you went with those trades in that direction and you have a winning percentage greater than 50%, you could be a winning trader. It's worth the effort to identify the prevailing trend and take trades within that prevailing trend. I think the overall trend for Brazil is still down. We had a crossover of the MACD a few weeks earlier, and a consolidation right now. There's a lot of unrest, political unrest in Brazil, but I like trading Brazil because I think it's definitely an emerging economy for the future, and it's one of the earliest ETFs that I've traded. It has a lot of interest and good volume. Somewhat tricky to trade though. I win some and I lose some. And the EEM, or the Emerging Market Index Fund, I have just started trading, and it looks like we have a downward trend, and it looks like that downward trend is continuing. At a recent crossover for the MACD and a recent crossover of the 80 of the RSI. Again, remember we're on the weekly, and I think the identifying the trend looks to be short. And I'll annotate my spreadsheet. Long for China, short for Brazil, and short for emerging markets. Jumping into the real estate sector, looks like the prevailing trend is down. I think that trend is continuing. We're looking at VNQ, which is a real estate ETF. Who thinks real estate's going to go boom or bust? Higher interest rates, I think it's going down this way. Let me know what you think. This is Zillow, weekly time frame. Ooh, look at that. What's the prevailing trend? Oh my. But there's some consolidation here. So is it going down further, or is it going to be neutral? I'm going to say neutral. And this is a property management company dealing in self-storage hotels. It seems like a lot of consolidation. WB Carey Company, Arete, I'm going neutral. So VNQ, the ETF, I'm still short. Zillow, neutral. And WP Carey Company, neutral. Let's go on to the techs. They don't seem to be doing so hot. Last few weeks, the tech ETF is XLK, and we can see that that is a short. I just don't like Meta. But earlier I said I thought maybe it was consolidating or going up. Their AI bet is not panning out, and I think the censorship of their members is going to come out to haunt them. We'll see. Right now, for the next week or two, I'm neutral. Seems like a drag down, but looks like it's trying to go up. So I'm going to call BIDU based on the MACD being just hanging around the zero line as a neutral. The healthcare sector, I'm calling this a short. A lot of consolidation here. Lilly Company, we have an MACD crossover, calling this a short. Nice run up. Is it over? And likewise, we have a crossover for Johnson & Johnson. I'm calling it a short. And I'll annotate my spreadsheet. Okay, so I updated my spreadsheet with this week's selections. I still have the date of 2 weeks ago. And you can see that my selections results today would have resulted in a win and concur with the findings of 2 weeks ago. And on Tuesday, Monday's holiday, I'll set the date for that week and start tracking that. But you can see that my selections are counter to 2 weeks ago results. I've chosen to go long on Google and Amazon, which is counter to what the trend was 2 weeks ago. Likewise, Brazil going short and the healthcare going short. If I've changed that to long, that's consistent with last week's. But I think in healthcare it's going short. So we'll see what my percentage is. Even if it results in this, that's a 76 or 78% win rate. I can do something with that. This is why I say it's important to pick the prevailing trend and see what the results are. So now, before the market opens, I will reanalyze on a lower time frame, the daily time frame usually, and make my selections of what I'm going to actually trade that day. I have about $30,000 to trade this week, of which I only want to spend about 10 grand. And I'm not going to be in a hurry to do it because let's see what the market does for 2023 opening. I hope you have a plan. This is my plan. in my simple spreadsheet. Remember to do your own due diligence. I wouldn't follow anybody's trades online, not even mine. Learn how to do this yourself and come up with a winning strategy, a simple winning strategy, and win for life. Let's have some fun trading for 2023. Good luck. Happy trading. We'll catch you on the flip. Oh, and remember to subscribe and like this video.